Hi, this is Chris from Deus Ex Machina.
And I'm Dave for Rampant Wolf Games.
And we have another top 5 list. We are back. We were never really away, by the way.
No.
And we're talking about the top 5 anticipated games of 2019. A little late, but these are games that we don't have, that haven't hit retail. Mine are all Kickstarter.
Mine are all Kickstarter.
I was trying to find a non-Kickstarter game. Wingspan would be on the list, except Wingspan's been basically out.
Yeah, we're going to skip past that one because you don't want to know my opinion on that one. Anyways, moving right along.
I mean, for me, it's an anticipated game on my side, but it's just...
Let's hit this. Yeah.
I'm throwing the fight for him.
All right. So, number 5 of top 5 anticipated games is Star Wars Outer Rim. Announced by Fantasy Flight Games. It is a card-based game. I don't even know that much about it yet because it's Fantasy Flight, so they're giving you spoonful by spoonful. We don't know much yet, but it looks interesting, and my friend who is a Star Wars fanatic.
I'm a Star Wars fanatic, and I've lost so much faith in Star Wars games in general, just because I think they look at these Star Wars games and they think it's kind of what's going on with EA right now. Because EA right now is in a lot of hot water because they put out 2 Star Wars games in 6 years, and Disney's like, we thought you'd be making more games. And not only that, but they made 2 games, and they've been the same game, just a sequel of the other one.
We're talking about Star Wars Old Republic? Oh, Battlefront. Oh, God.
Yeah, the Old Republic is old. Because, the Old Republic.
Battlefront was... The original Battlefronts were better.
Yeah. But the most important thing about it is the fact that there should be better games. There should be more variety. But EA is saying, no. A game tied to Star Wars has to make all the money. Can't make some money. That can't make a lot of money. It has to make all the money. So they cancel anything that doesn't make it. And I always get the same impression with Star Wars. It's okay to have a small Star Wars game. But it seems like every time there was a full Star Wars game, it has to be like, no, it has to be X-Wing with expansions and 50 little other things and booster packs and all this. So... whenever someone says, hey, the new Star Wars game, I'm like, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people will like it, and I won't have much interest in it.
Yep. So that was number 5, Star Wars Outer Rim.
I haven't heard about this.
Yeah.
I'm sure I haven't.
Yeah.
My number 5 pick is a Kickstarter game that'll probably deliver this year. It resolved late last year. It doesn't seem like much. It's actually a re-release of a game that from many, many years ago is called Atlantis Rising. Atlantis Rising is a cooperative game. It's a cooperative sci-fi game. People stress it is sci-fi. It deals with players working together using worker placement, which is a very uncommon mechanic for a cooperative, to use the various technologies of Atlantis to prevent Atlantis from falling, or rather still, try to keep the population alive as Atlantis falls. So it's like, Aquaman, the prequel. But anyway, it looks pretty. The production designs are really good. The owners of the new proprietors have been pretty open with feedback, because I was like, because for me, my biggest problem right now is a single belief with cooperative games. There's a side of going, let's make this game fun, but there's been this push by almost unilateral all game designers. How hard can we make this game? People will love us if we make the game impossible, and they don't realize that. It's the same thing what happened with Dark Souls. Dark Souls, the video game came out. It was exceedingly and massively difficult.
Yep. And
it had a good audience. Then they made Dark Souls 2, which they said was easier. All the core fans got angry, but it sold twice as much. So Atlantis Rising, they say, there's variations of play, so you can adjust difficulty. That made me a backer, so I'm looking forward to trying this game. That is number 5, Atlantis Rising, which I know you didn't back.
Nope. My number 4 anticipated game, I believe it should be getting this year, but maybe it's not, but still. I know it goes to print this year, I'm pretty sure. I'm not quite sure how you say it, because,
I'm so anticipating.
I think it's Hyperspace by Sandy Peterson, or is it Sandy Peterson's Hyperspace?
Trust me, he puts his name before his name, before the title. Yeah. It's Sandy Peterson's
Hyperspace. The reason I'm looking forward to this game is because...
You backed that?
I did. I went all in.
Really?
I did.
Dude, that's like $400.
I know.
I forgot you have money. Here's a shock, folks. I only have one tie. I only have one shirt.
He only has one mustache.
I only have one mustache. And I don't wash it that often. He chooses to wear these. I can't even afford to put my emblem on my shirt. He's the rich one.
The reason I want...
I fit that.
I don't know yet. I haven't figured that one out.
By the way, did you know that they came down with the the dimensions of Planet Apocalypse?
Oh, yeah?
Which, spoilers. But anyway, Planet Apocalypse. What's your biggest game here? Like
Shadows of Brimstone.
Like this, the box size.
Oh, Gloomhaven.
So Gloomhaven. Okay. So how thick is thick? Like how big is Gloomhaven? Like about what is that? About 9 inches?
It wishes. It's maybe 6.5.
6.5. So the box for Planet Apocalypse is 17.5 inches across, and it is 12 inches deep.
Oh my!
I think that's what the dimensions are, but I know one of the numbers was 12 inches. I was just like, "You're compensating."
Yeah,
but yeah. So wow, because I saw what the all-in pledge of that one was. I saw what the basic pledge was. I was like, "You don't get a lot." And then I saw all the expansion pledges. I was like, Sandy, you MF.
Oh, yeah. But the thing is, it's got a really simple game mechanic to it, which is what I'm looking for, because it's hard to get people into space games. I don't know what it is.
I like the asymmetric miniatures. I love the fact that every faction looks completely different. I'm annoyed that he's not even close to delivering Planet Apocalypse yet.
Yeah.
Of the campaign.
Yeah.
People have nailed other companies to the wall for starting with a Kickstarter when their other one wasn't even close. Planet Apocalypse isn't even close to delivering. I'd say 6 months to 10 months, maybe. He's just getting his box art down, for God's sakes. He's had his manual out for a couple months, but to throw down this project, only Simon has the cojones to get away with something like that.
I've seen lots of other companies do it.
I know, but not to this.
Yeah.
Not to this package size. I mean,
Shadows of Brimstone did.
I know, but you've had issues with them. Awakened Realms does it now as well.
Yeah.
They just delivered on Nemesis. They have 2 titles that haven't delivered: The Edge, and then they did Tainted Grail.
Yeah, Shadows of Brimstone. I went all in again on this one that just closed, and I just got the other one, and I paid probably about the same for each of them. Yeah. So, anyways, that was my number 4, Sandy Peterson's Hyperspace. I
want to be here when you play it. I want to play it. Mm-hmm. I needed to pay for rent, so I didn't buy it, and because Nicole's like, no, no. I love the idea of 4X games.
Yeah.
The issue is every one of them costs the same amount as a small country. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't know, the combat portion. I like the ones where you can do anything you want. You don't necessarily have to war. Some of them are like, no, it's all 4X, which means you got to do all 4.
Yeah.
I like the ones where it's just like, there's 4Xs, choose which X. Mm-hmm. Those are the games I want to play. And the problem is, it's hard for me to determine which one is that one, and still is a good game.
Yeah.
That one we played once was a good example of that, where you didn't necessarily have to fight everybody. But that was your number 4.
Oh, you're talking about Eclipse.
Yeah. My number 4 is another Kickstarter, shocker. Mm-hmm. Another game that he didn't back. Mm-hmm. Another game that I know we talked about at length.
Let me guess. It's Onimaru?
No, I didn't back Onimaru.
Oh, really?
Actually, no, I backed a buck. I'm still on the fence.
I'm still on the fence, too.
I still haven't paid into this.
I still haven't paid either. I looked at it and I'm just like...
She sells for the seashore.
But no. I looked in the I looked in the pledge manager and I'm just like... And then I was like, yeah, maybe. And then I'm like, the game looked 125.
The game looked really good, but then as I've been working with Ryan Benjamin, I've been looking at it, because spoilers, by looking at the artwork he's been putting out, and I'm like, yeah, Onimaru isn't that great.
Well,
it looks great because it has game trays, but the actual art design itself is just okay.
The thing is I look at the game and I'm just like, ooh, that looks pretty, and I'm just like, I still don't understand what the game is.
I don't do
that's the thing. I
don't do enough research. I'm such a bad man when it comes to Kickstarter. That's why I've been getting so many Kickstarter games that have bad mechanics, and I'm like, I should really read the rules.
Yeah.
No, it's my number 4 is Tidal Blades.
Oh.
Which I know you didn't back. You thought, because it's done by the same people who did Grim Forest. But I saw this game. This is a game I actually literally, this time I did my research. I saw and sat down and I watched a full, like an hour and a half playthrough of the entire game. Uh-huh. And it looked bloody brilliant. I loved what it did. I thought it's just like, it's done by the same people who do Grim Forest. I'm like, well, they must have learned their lesson because it is such a much... It's so pretty. The production design is so amazing. If it wasn't for the fact that there were other games that were simply more epic than this, it would clearly be my number one. I think if my fiance was to run the list, Tidal Blades would be high on the list. I love the visual aesthetic. I loved the fantasy sci-fi presentation. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I am all over this game. I can't wait for it. That is number 4, Tidal Blades with some kind of subtitle, which I don't care about.
Yeah, I can't remember. My number 3 is, surprise, surprise, if you know me, Shadows of Brimstone Adventures.
Really? Is it? How many boxes of Shadows of Brimstone are? You have a wall full of just Shadows of Brimstone.
Yep.
You can have just a section, the Brimstone section.
Oh yeah, we have to go buy some more like shelves and stuff this weekend because of all that.
Yeah, he just got a big ass box today at the time of shooting, which is all like 30, 40 pounds of just Brimstone miniatures.
Yeah.
You should play that. You should play it once.
Well, we're painting all the minis is the problem. We played it before. Like we've actually
You're gonna come back a month later and go, this game is bad.
We played Shadows of Brimstone quite heavily.
Oh, okay, good.
And
you should invite me one time.
Yeah.
No, we can't because it's an entire campaign.
Well, actually, the campaign is nice because it can actually play 6 players. It's one of the few campaign games that can play 6. And I'm just like, oh. Because I can usually get together 4, and then someone's like, hey, can I play 2? I'm like,
you can watch.
You can watch. Yeah. But no, I can actually play 6. So, but the thing about Shadows of Brimstone...
So which Brimstone is anticipating? Like
Shadows of Brimstone Adventures.
Okay, because it can't be any of those.
Nope.
Because you just got them.
No.
She's like, oh, I haven't opened them yet. I'm like, oh, that doesn't count.
The core mechanic of Shadows of Brimstone that makes it awesome is they originally started with you're in Wild West. However, as you're doing search for Darkstone, you encounter portals which take you to a derelict spaceship, a radiated war grounds.
So it's Wild West meets Rifts.
Yes, and you can end up now in...
Damn, I want to play that now.
And you can now end up in Shogun, Japan, and...
Are you sure this is not a really bizarre version of Westworld?
It pretty much is Westworld. It really is. And the new one that's coming is Conquistadors and Vikings. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's so anticipated, even though you own most of it, it's still anticipating.
It is still anticipated. That is my number 3, which is Shadows of Brimstone Adventures.
My number 3, I really got to do research on these games because I have no idea how this game is played. It is a traditional mission-based, lay-down, giant map tile, square or hexagon-based cooperative dungeon romp. Right? You know, you put down your big things.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm just trying to figure out which one this is.
Open up your mission, put down your characters, move, fight things, complete the objective. Very classic. But it's Hellboy. And because it's Hellboy, with the Hellboy art style, and the Hellboy characters, and Hellboy miniatures, they just posted something at the time of filming this, so it would be maybe a couple weeks out, where they've showed, like, they had all the boxes sent to their warehouse, not to a distribution warehouse. Like, I've done that, but it's like I've not seen my 1,000 books. They're 3,000 miles away. I've never seen them in one spot. But they have a picture of just it's like a warehouse, and you just see Hellboy boxes just packed up and lining up because they're going out, which means I'll see it probably August,
yeah,
of 2020. And they're doing European shipping now. I'm surprised, which means we'll probably see a Dice Tower unboxing probably in the next few weeks, and then I'll see the game 3 months after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to, especially now with the new movie coming out.
Yeah.
Because I would love it if we got Hellboy around the same time the new movie came out. That'd be awesome. But that's my number 3 pick. You can't see any more than that. I can't see any more than that because I have no idea how the game plays. I really should do my research. That's number 3, Hellboy, the board game. Please don't suck.
So, interesting side note about Shadows of Brimstone. In the video for the Kickstarter, they're going through all the people and they're explaining it's actually the designers of the game and stuff. And they get to one guy who's like one of the like line artists and stuff, and he's like, I have been bugging them for 5 years to make this game, and finally they're making this game, yes. And at the end of it, he says something in Norse. because he's actually like he's got Norse heritage. You can tell he's like white with blonde and stuff hair, and he's just like he says something Viking, and you're just like, all right, down boy. It's funny. All right, my number 2 is not a Kickstarter. So my number 2 most anticipated game of this year is Mystery Tales Robinson Crusoe. It's an expansion for Robinson Crusoe.
Okay. I swear to God, it just popped up on Great Board Games today.
Yep.
I was going to put it on my list, then I saw it there, and I was like, no, it's out now. So it was on my list. I took it off my list today because I saw it, that it's available to order.
But it's anticipated because I don't have it.
I know, I know, but no, I mean, I would actually still rather have these, even though... Unlike some people, Nicole and I have actually burned through half of the story missions in Robinson Crusoe.
Yeah.
And the fact that, and this kind of grinds my gears, they've taken all the stuff that was awesome about First Martians, fixed it, and then made this expansion. So it has like app integration, connected campaign modes, carryovers, and all that. It's like, oh, it's great. Now, can you go back and fix the other game that had this mechanic in the first place?
Yep.
It's almost like they're doubling down. I'm looking forward to this just to see how they do it.
Yeah. So yes, Mystery Tales Robinson Crusoe.
I didn't realize that this is their second expansion. You think it's
yes,
their first?
No, it's their third actually. I think.
Oh, okay.
Because they had Voyage of the Beagle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they had,
which I've never seen.
I think there was another one. Maybe it is just well, it's right there. It's right beside Cthulhu Reign. Reign of Cthulhu, sorry. Between XCOM and Reign of Cthulhu. The blue with the orange or brownish band there. It's unopened.
Really?
Yep.
How long have you had it for?
Year and a half.
You got problems.
I know. I have many.
My number 2, we mentioned it, and I'm looking forward to it almost like, please don't suck. Please don't suck. I spent a lot of money on you guys. That's Tainted Grail.
Oh God, it's gonna suck.
I think I have a funny feeling it will.
Yeah.
Let me state this unequivocally. I'm working on a very large video for Dice Tower for this War of Mine, where I spend 45 minutes talking about its artistic integrity and then coming to the conclusion that it's still a bad game. Nemesis is a better game, but it is saddled with. If you read the rules and you're like, if you have no experience in game design, and you do. I know you do. You may have not designed a game from the ground up, but you know enough about gameplay and game design. Because you read a rule book and go, why they made that decision? That feels kind of weird.
Yeah.
And Nemesis is full of these thematic ideas. You're like, that's nice. Like the gameplay. Like you have a deck of cards, and you spend those cards to accomplish actions. You can do actions and just throw cards to do those actions, or you can do the actions on the cards themselves. Mm-hmm. It's a brilliant mechanic. It works really well. And then around it is all of these decisions that they make, and you go, and there's so many times playing through, now we're like the fourth game now, where we look at it and go, that's a weird choice. I've done that like 4 or 5 times. So I'm like, you pick up a gun. The gun always has like one shot. You have to then find ammo for that gun. And I'm like, that's a weird choice.
That is a weird choice.
Like, we run out of ammo. Oh, good, a gun. You have one shot.
Why not make it randomized?
Or just give you a clip.
I would randomize it because, the thought is that you're running and shooting and then you died and gun got dropped. So it's like, well, you pick up so you don't know. Okay, I've got 7 bullets. Cool.
That's better than just getting one.
I know. I might game rule that one.
Yeah, but there's like other ones where, what other ones are, where once again, it forces secrecy. And then there's a cooperative mode. The cooperative mode, like, all your cards in your deck are all based on the semi-co-op, which is not semi-co-op, it's fully competitive. Mm-hmm. It is a fully competitive game. So there's tons of take that mechanic in the cards. Mm-hmm. Mechanics that they didn't bother to take out for the cooperative. They don't add new cards. They don't take out. They take out the objectives and replace the objective cards, but your deck. So you're like, oh, this interrupts another player's action and they try to do something bad to you. So what does it do in the cooperative mode? Nothing. It just sits in your deck. And you're like, that's a weird choice to do that. You couldn't have thought of just introducing a couple of new cards and just altering. No? Okay. It's like, there's this roll. You roll this die. which tells you how much damage you inflict. One shot, 1 damage. 2 shots, 2 damage. Sometimes you have weapons that alter that. But then there are three other symbols on the die. One tells you if you're attacking a breeder and you roll this symbol, you do damage to the breeder, right? And so that means that if you're fighting a breeder, which is a giant creature, which already has twice as many hit points as the average guy, the chances of you inflicting damage is less because those weird symbols, meaning against an adult, you treat those symbols as hits. But against a breeder, you treat those symbols as misses. So against the creature that has twice as many hit points, you are hitting them and potentially doing damage half the amount of time. It's not based in any way on your skill to fire a gun. It's based entirely, apparently, on the creature's resistance to that injury, and then on top of that, they have twice as many hit points. So you're like, oh, okay, fine. That's interesting. So it's just, there are these decisions. And the campaign mode, the cooperative campaign mode, there's a point where, like, literally, if you do everything right and you get the good ending of Mission 3, it feels like someone has literally catapulted you into the stratosphere by kicking you in the nuts. And you're like, and I'm thinking like, huh, that's interesting. And Nicole's just like, I don't want to play this game anymore. So I'm very worried about Tainted Grail because Tainted Grail is done by the same people. And I'm looking at this going, and it's Nemesis was them trying to do this semi-cooperative thing, alien thing. I'll go into details on another video about why Nemesis is not an alien ripoff, which is really freaking people out. Because I don't think it is. I think it's in that genre. It rips off too many other things to be an alien ripoff. It's funny. When you rip off everybody, you're not a ripoff. It's this weird Zen moment. Tainted Grail is trying to rip off Seventh Continent and try to blend it with this Dark Souls. It's like Dark Souls meets Seventh Continent. It's got cool ass miniatures. I backed it. I'm looking forward to seeing what it does. But I'm expecting it to kind of be disappointing. I'm expecting at least 20% of the game going, huh, that's interesting. I wonder why they did that. I wouldn't have done that same decision, but that's my number 2 pick, Tainted Grail.
All right. My number 1 pick.
Snipping the paper. Finally, decisions come out. No more Trident. My number 1 pick is, brace yourself, Planet Apocalypse. Why is this freaking out?
Because you crapped on the other one with Sandy Peterson's.
I crapped on it from a thematic point. I don't like the fact that he hasn't delivered Planet Apocalypse. He has no syndication of delivering Planet Apocalypse.
Acropolis?
But that he still started this other campaign, which is equally massive. And I know he's got a company, but still got his name on the figurehead. Planet Apocalypse, I'm looking forward to. I think the game's going to be a mess. I saw the rulebook. The rulebook is whenever I think, oh man, I think my rulebook's too thick. I look up Planet Apocalypse rulebook and I feel a little bit better. I like some of the ideas. I like the fact that the dice, there's these 2 dice you roll, and they have symbols on them. The symbols attached to each other, like this, the symbols form an image, and so when you roll the dice, the image they form is the result, not the individual results.
That's cool.
Exactly. But that's one of those things like, huh, that's interesting. I like that. I hope they would screw it up. Because you could. But yeah, Keith Thompson is the reason why I like this game. I wouldn't have backed this game if it was not Keith Thompson. Keith Thompson is the visual artist for this game. Another reason why I didn't back. I thought the miniatures in Sandy Peterson Hyperspace were okay. The designs were okay, but Keith Thompson is a bloody genius, and it's like someone said, "Hey, we secured all the artwork for H.R. Giger's artwork. We're going to make a non-alien game using just Giger artwork." I don't care. I will back that game blind.
Yep.
And Keith Thompson he's epic. He's one of the best, most underappreciated. He did a monster movie. There's a monster horror movie that came out like 2 years ago. That everyone's like, this is one of the greatest horror films. And everyone kept on saying it's got one of the wickedest, coolest monster designs people have seen in decades. And I saw a scene. I was like, that's Keith Thompson. I can spot his design from anywhere. And then later in the video, it's like, yeah, it's done by this artist named Keith Thompson. I was like, yeah, I nailed it. Because he's got a really unique style. Very disturbing. Perfect for this type of setting. It's exactly what the smartest thing Sandy ever did was bring this guy in. And I know it did not come cheap.
Yeah.
So that's my number 1 pick, Planet Apocalypse.
All right. My number 1 pick is shipping shortly. So I still don't have
What a
it.
strange name for a game. Shipping shortly.
And
Game
it's not going to hit retail, which is unfortunate.
Exclusive?
Yeah, it's
you're getting it, so
Kickstarter
who-
exclusive.
what do you
Well,
get?
it's disappointing because I wish if it had hit the shelves retail, it would have a better chance of us possibly seeing a second. They're already planning the second one, but it's
The
just
second printing?
well, no, just like it's the conclusion or sequel.
Seventh Continent.
Yeah, no,
Oh, so that's really? Because Seventh
it's
Continent.
Madera.
I thought you had Madara.
Nope, I haven't got it yet.
I could have sworn.
Tom has Madera.
Of course, Tom has.
Tom has everything. But anyways, no, I'm really looking forward to Madara. I mean, it has got so much stuff in it. It is 4 years in the making. It was supposed to deliver 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But when you see what is in that game,
It's big.
It is massive, and the storybook behind it is huge. I really want to see where they go with this one, because if it just stops, there's still going to be a lot of game there, but I feel like it won't have told the whole story. And I think they've learned their lessons from this one, and they keep saying there's going to be a second Kickstarter, but I will believe it when I see it, because I'm still trying to figure out how they kept the company running for 4 years without any more money.
How much money did they raise?
I can't remember now, but they've actually sold out, and
That's probably what happened then.
they're already going to be doing another Kickstarter for a reprint. And that's the interesting thing. But they've told us they will make sure they deliver
First.
to all Kickstarter backers before they do the reprint, even though they're short money.
Wow.
Yeah, because they've set aside a huge amount of, they've set aside, I think, I can't remember what they said, but it's probably some ridiculous number. I mean, I might be wrong. I think they said they set aside 20% of their stock for replacements.
Parts, yeah.
Yeah, for parts in case something goes wrong. But I'm probably wrong on that number. I don't think it was maybe that much, but let me just take a look here. I can find it about 1, 2, 3, and right about, I have to go way back again, 4 years. There it is. They made only $456,000 Canadian.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good for 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I bet you $1,000 when they deliver and they relaunch, it's gonna make 2-3 million.
Yeah, considering how it's...
Because Kickstarter, as someone who ran a Kickstarter 4 or 5 years ago, there wasn't as much money. The Kickstarter explosion was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see those kind of numbers again.
Yeah.
But that was if you wanted to back a Kickstarter game, if you wanted to create a Kickstarter game that make the most money, the golden age was 1.5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's interesting because, I mean, basically, because what was it here? They said, back on February 13th, they had said that their back orders will already decimate their stock left over, so they're going to have to do another Kickstarter to reprint. So
I think, how much was the game? How much was the core box for you? Actually, no. How much was the core box? I don't want to know how much you spent.
it was $100.
Yeah,
That was $100 for that.
I'd back that. I'd back that.
Yeah. And that was pretty much everything, and then you could get some add-ons. I think I may have got some add-ons, but yeah, to get pretty much everything that you saw Tom unbox was $100 US.
Wow. I hope they do another relaunch.
I do, yeah.
Well, what do you care? You got a game coming.
Well, no, because I want them to go do the sequel, because this is Act 1, right?
Oh.
This is Act 1. This is
the
Madera Act 1. Intentional malice or something like that.
Tom liked the game too.
Yeah, and it's got so much customization to it. Your character is not a class. Your character is whatever you want it to be. So if you want it to be a sword wielding ninja wizard,
Remember,
you can.
Madara is a suggestion. Play the game the way you want
to play it. Yeah, exactly. So yes, that is my number 1 for anticipated is Madara.
So off the top, mine number 5, Atlantis Rising. Number 4, Tidal Blades. Number 3, Hellboy, the board game. Number 2, Tainted Grail, and number 1, Planet Populus.
Populus? My number 5, Star Wars Outer Rim. Number 4, Sandy Peterson's Hyperspace. Number 3, Shadows of Brimstone Adventures. Number 2, Mystery Tales Robinson Crusoe. And number 1, Madera.
So I have been Chris.
And I've been Dave. And remember, the rules are just a suggestion. Play the game how you want to play it, or how we tell you to.
Yes! Follow what we say.